How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. So let's see what's going on today. You know, I have to laugh because most of you, like 98% of you that have come to know me and they're coming on the channel, you're like, oh, just do your ramblings, don't worry about it. And then there'll always be one comment in there. And they, you know, I guess in the beginning I got upset about things like that. Now I just laugh like crazy, and I laugh more and more each time. But somebody's like, they'll either put, she starts the actual case at like 6 minutes and 20 seconds, or, oh my gosh, the endless rambling. A couple of the best ones, and this I think I want to come and highlight a couple of the best comments every time, was this one. This woman goes, oh my gosh, do you know what made me click on your channel? Do you know what it was? It was your makeup. So I'm like, okay. And she goes, it just jumped out at me and I had to click on it. And then, oh, I heard your incessant rambling. I will never come back here again. And I'm thinking to myself, right? Okay, well, if that jumped out at you and made you click and come on in, well then that's pretty good. Because people like to get, you know, if I got you there from a thumbnail and you came in and watched, okay, you know, what are you telling me here? So, I don't know. And then, but the funniest thing was I saw, I can't get through all the comments. So sometimes I'm several weeks behind and I'll be going through comments and they'll be like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So there were a couple of, and Crucible was sticking up for me, had my back, thanks Crucible. She was, you know, the one lady was like something about either it was my eyeshadow or my eyeliner or something, and she's like, leave her alone, it's not a makeup channel, you're probably a miserable cow yourself, you know, something, and, you know, just wrote this stuff to her. And then I think it was, last night there was something that came in, I don't remember what it was, and I think it was Michael that said something that was like, get the F out of here. And I told it to my husband today. I'm like, oh yeah, somebody on there last night, I think they said something about whatever it was, my eyeliner or something. I said, and then this one guy just said, you know what, get the F out of here then. And my husband was hysterical. He was hysterical. Because like, it's so funny to me now that they even take the time to comment, you know, that they're never coming back again. That they're never coming back again. You say, it's, why even waste the minutes of your life? I don't know why they, you know, I'm just like, wow, if I'm that horrendous that you don't want to, don't waste the few minutes, you know, to put it out there. Go on to joy. Go on to things that bring you joy. But yeah, I laugh like crazy. But what was I going to say? Oh, yes. The other thing I was going to say, some will say, oh, I like your channel and everything. I just, oh, this is the best one. You know how I told you I don't do the freaking clickbait. I don't do it. I teach bloggers how to write headlines, and I'm totally, you can go into my course, no clickbait. Well, apparently people don't know what clickbait is. And just so to clear that up, because the couple of comments I got. Clickbait, guys, is something that you put on your channel, like if I put it up on my channel, Mommy Ramblings, leaving YouTube. If I put that up there as a thumbnail, right? And then you click on it, and then I come on and say, hey guys, yeah, no, you know, I heard there was a rumor that Mommy Ramblings is leaving YouTube, but I'm not leaving YouTube. And then all I did was get you to click in there because you're, okay. And I told you what happened the one time, because a very popular one on YouTube is either, for the mommy blogger types, is either that my husband left us, something like that, right? Or it's the end. And I told you the one day I knew the one blogger, and I'm like, she doesn't do clickbait. And it said, my husband left us. And for about a week I didn't click on it because I was disgusted. I'm like, I can't believe she's doing that stupid clickbait. Because normally when you click on them, they'll go, my husband left us to go camping with the girls, you know, their daughters, the girls. Or, you know, to go camping with our boys, whatever it is. It's something stupid, just clickbait. So I just said, I can't believe so-and-so is doing that, right? But then I clicked on it. And her husband really left her. So, yeah. Yeah. That wasn't good. But yeah, and so say they go, oh, what are you doing with your clickbait? Because you ramble in the beginning before you get to what you put on your headline. And that's clickbait. No, that's not clickbait. Clickbait is when you don't come through. You don't follow through on that headline. The content you promised there is not in there. It's not in the article or it's not in the video. Whatever I have up there is going to be in the video. It might come after 5 minutes of rambling. It might come after 10 minutes of rambling. It's going to be there. That's not clickbait. So, yeah. So I got a couple of those comments that, don't you know about using your and then they threaten me. I'm never coming back here again. Okay, don't let the door hit you on the way out. But, yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Anyway, so I've got that going on. We've got a tremendous response to the Facebook group. And you guys are in there just like, just going to town. And I'm in my phone, every time it's just making that sound. I've got another message, another message, another message. So yeah, I'm listening to my husband, oh my gosh, now I feel like I'm more behind the 8 ball than ever. But yeah, no, we've got quite a few moderate people have signed up to be a moderator. And I think it's weird now. It's not in old groups. You just would assign somebody to be a moderator. Now you have to send them an invitation and they have to accept it. So I don't know, but I think we have at least 3, 4, I don't know, 5. I know there's one from Germany, which is good because there's people from all different countries in the group. So I think I'm going to put a few of them in there so that they can deal with all the time zones, because I'm just not able to get around to everything like I could. I feel bad that I can't respond to everything, so I try to respond to things in bulk in the videos so that at least I can answer a bunch of questions. And I know, again, you guys keep asking me about the armchair, and I answered it in the last video, and I don't have anything against the guy at all. I mean, I really don't even know him that well. I've seen the videos you've shown me, and I know he's in the UK, and that's about all I know about him. But somebody told me last night that he was looking for me, or he said I sent him an email, and then he wanted to talk to me. It's like, I didn't know what was going on. I thought he was going to yell at me, and I'm like, please don't yell at me. But I don't know what he apparently said. Somebody told me that I contacted him, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I would say if I did, but it wasn't me. So, because I don't even know about collaboration or anything like that until I get this new setup, which right now it's in the cart right now. I'm going to press the button on it, and then it'll be here Monday. So, and that's my son's day off. So he can hopefully build it, and hopefully everything will go okay. But yeah, so I've got to order that and then see, because I've been looking up at that, how to do, you have to get either like you want to do some type of a talk show kind of a thing, and that's what I want to do. So those are my plans for the channel, because I want to give you guys a voice too. And I think it's going to be way, way easier for me to answer questions during a video, whether we do it at the end of a topic, or we have a call-in show, question and answer show once a week or something like that. But that's what I'd like to do. And so I'm looking, I know you can just get a free conference line number, because I've used those with work and stuff that I do with people. So we'd get on a conference call in the morning, and you can mute it, you can mute the person. Someone's like, oh, you gotta be so careful, what if you get a loony on the phone? Well, then there's a disconnect button and there's a mute button. So yeah, I'm trying to do something like that so that you guys can come on and ask questions, because I think it's a lot easier than me going through tons of comments and then answering the same thing over and over again. And it will give you guys a voice too. And I know some of you have asked me, and this is another thing I want to get into, and have asked me to either cover cases that you personally know. Maybe you personally have a friend that's got a child that's missing, or there's been some kind of unsolved crime, and you say, oh, can you please look into this? I think that would be a great thing to do, have someone come on the line and kind of interview them about it, get the facts out there, do something like that. So we could have, maybe one like that a week or something. But I want to do things that are interesting to everyone and that you're interested in, but that you can also have a part in. And I know you guys like to solve crimes, so if these are cases, and maybe, you know, if it's a missing persons case, if it's this, if it's that, possibly, you know, you really could do some work here. And I know a lot of you do, because everybody's trying to find something to get NK in there. But, you know, maybe it's a chance to do something, you know, for, you know, to really accomplish something other than just NK, right? Being in a relationship that like Shanann was in, or even worse, and they, you know, want to tell a story so we can talk about, you know, narcissists, covert narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, something like that, and have some people call in and tell their story. Call in, or if they're able to patch themselves in, if I figure out what I'm doing here, but I think it's like a web conferencing software, and then if they, like Zoom or something, and I've used I used to give live webinars for company I'm with, but I know how to do that. So, I mean, from what I'm getting at, with the software that does the streaming and everything, should be just that. If the person wants to come on and talk, they would just install that, which I believe it's free, the software on their computer or their phone in order to broadcast and come on in, or do a call in. So those are all things that I'm looking at, just to kind of, you know, give everybody something. And I know I still get a few comments like, oh my gosh, how many times are you going to go over the Watts case? But I said I was going to go through the discovery. The majority want me to go through the discovery and keep covering this case. So I'm going to do that. Not every video is going to be a Watts video, not at all. And once we get that platform up and running the way that I envision it, and I hope it's going to turn out as well, then I think it's really going to change the dynamic and the direction. I think it's going to give you guys a great voice, and it's going to be just a wonderful way to connect with all of you from all over the world, to ask questions, tell a story, whatever, you know. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. So just so you know that. And so my son's like, go down and order this stuff. I said, they just finalized everything. I had to pick out the right monitor. Oh, I can't stand all that stuff. He had everything for me, but then I have to just go through everything. And so, and then we also get today, you know what today is in New York. Well, maybe it's your first deadline if you don't want to pay any interest on your property taxes. So that's always a fun day in New York. Say goodbye to a big chunk of money, buy money, to do all that. But I'm going to go down and order it, and then I just checked everything Prime. Everything will come Monday, and then he should be able to build that. Let's hope we don't have any glitches, but I'm really hoping to get set up with that really fast. Do I have anything else to say? Okay, I'm rambling a lot. Today, I have a treat today. No. We're going to go over some stuff from the Watts discovery. Someone asked me something about some child abuse claim that was on. Somebody thought it was on Shanann. Well, I've got that information right now. Dear Sir or Madam, and it was sent to the jail. Okay, this is Christopher Watts, not Shanann Watts. Christopher Watts. Okay, and this is sent from Renee Fuller, who's a caseworker. Okay, and this came from the Department of Social Services, the Colorado Department of Human Services, the Weld County Department of Social Services, Notice of Child Welfare Services Action. Okay, so this is what somebody asked me about. They said, what was this? What was this child abuse allegation or something? And they said Shanann. No, Shanann is not named on this. It's only Christopher Watts that's named on this. And what this is, it says on the one side, this does not affect your monthly assistance check. That's all forms. And it says number 3 is checked for Christopher Watts. Your social services has been changed as shown below. Okay, and then it says specific reasons and or which apply. It says child protection assessment is closed as founded for fatal abuse on Christopher Watts. So he was charged with fatal abuse here. Okay, I don't know if this is standard procedure, thankfully, because I don't want to be familiar with something like this of a parent killing their child, but it says on the back, it says 10-1, Weld County Department of Human and Social Services has completed an assessment of an allegation of child abuse and or neglect. The allegation has been confirmed, and you have been identified as the person responsible for the incident of child abuse or neglect detailed below. And then it says Bella Watts, fatal intrafamilial abuse, physical. Celeste Watts, fatal intrafamilial abuse, physical. Your option for disputing this confirmation and the time frame in which you must submit your appeal are explained in detail and attached to the fact sheet along with other important information. You have the right to a state-level fair hearing before an independent administrative law judge. You have the opportunity to request a local dispute resolution process. You must contact the county named above and find out if there's a local process that's available to you. Renee Fuller, and then Kimberly McLean, supervisor. And then here on the back here it says this action effective on 10/2/2018. Specific changes. Child protection assessment closed is founded for fatal abuse on Christopher Watts. So yes, not Shanann. He was charged with the fatal abuse of his daughters. Not Shanann. He was charged. This is before the plea deal, guys. Before the plea deal. So, before the plea deal, Christopher was given this for fatal abuse on a child. It says here on the bottom, if you have questions about this action or believe it is improper, call your caseworker and we will be glad to discuss the matter with you further. You have a right to a hearing at the county department and or the right to appeal to the State Department of Administration for a hearing. These rights are explained on the back of this form. You are required to report to your caseworker any change of address, number of people in your household, or change in your income. And again, this is from October 2nd, 2018. So you can look that up. This is page 1637 and 1641. So there are other pages between this where you can read more about that, but I just wanted to say it's not Shanann. Christopher was served with this allegation here, and then it says it was confirmed. So you can check that out. Tell you guys something. Do you remember when I was doing the interview with Troy McCoy, and Troy went back to Survey 319 on the 14th, and he said he ran into that guy that was doing something there. I think he was checking the water or doing something, and he told him, I'm just looking for wrenches. Well, they questioned that guy that was doing the water to see what Troy McCoy was doing there. So this is a little bit interesting. So it says, the following information was documented at the time it was gathered on 8/16 while at Survey 319 oil tank site. I spoke with a vacuum truck driver, Chris Ostrander. Chris works for Complete Energy Services, Inc. He was on site to vacuum the crude oil from the catch pan from the east oil tank and drain it. I asked Chris about the oil well site process and what prompts him to respond to a specific oil well site. Chris explained his company, Complete Energy Services, is contracted by Anadarko Petroleum to remove the oil and or water from the oil tanks and separators located at many oil well sites. I asked Chris how often he was called to drain the tanks at Survey 319, and he said it's not a high-producing oil well site, so it's not as often as most others. So that's probably a reason why he found that to be a good site, because it's not as maintained as the other sites and it's not as drained as often. Chris said, no, remember, this is Chris Ostrander. This is not Chris Watts, okay? Chris said the last time he was at Survey 319 was on 8/14. Now that's when Troy McCoy went there. At approximately 1400 hours, so that's 2 p.m., to vacuum the pit, which is a tank to contain the water separated from the crude oil. I asked Chris if he noticed anything different or unusual at that time. Chris said an Anadarko operator arrived at the site shortly after he did and parked east of the oil pump head. Chris said that was unusual because he had never seen anyone park that far away from the tank area. It should be noted that the area Chris described is also adjacent and near the area where Shanann's body was recovered. Chris said he didn't recognize the person, but was convinced he was an Anadarko employee because he was driving a full-size pickup truck consistent with Anadarko trucks. Chris said he spoke with the man who told him that he was looking for a wrench he lost from leaving it on his rear bumper or tailgate and to check on things. I asked Chris if he was able to get the man's name. Chris said he did not, but the man signed his electronic JSA form when asked. Chris explained a JSA form is a job safety analysis document he completes for each site he works at. When an Anadarko employee is also present in a job site, he requests they sign the electronic form. Chris said once his form was signed, he went back to vacuuming the holding tank and the unidentified Anadarko employee drove off. So that was Troy McCoy, and then that was the guy that he met there. So, you know, he parked over there, so did he see something? Did he know something? I don't know. And was he shocked that that guy was there? Was that guy going to be there for a long time? Did they go back at any other time? We don't know. But I just thought that was interesting because most of it seems to sync with Troy's story. And then then he said, I asked Chris if I would be able to get a copy of the JSA form for that specific visit, and he said he likely could, and shortly thereafter informed me it was available and he could email it to me. Okay, so then let's see, he got the email, and yes, it says I contacted Commander Egan and at the Frederick Police Department and informed him of what I had learned and requested someone contact and interview Troy McCoy about his presence. That's, I believe, why they interviewed him in the first place. I think that was his first one, and then they interviewed him again. Remember, he had 2 interviews? I'm trying to see when the timeline for that was. But yeah, it said, interviewed Troy McCoy about his presence at Survey 319 on 8/14. At 11:21 hours, I forwarded to Commander Egan, and I was provided via... Okay, nothing further. So yeah, that was Detective Baumhover, and that was about Troy McCoy going out to the site. So that does sync with what Troy said. Mr. Watts's behavior in jail. When we last saw Chris, it was 8:15 when he was arrested, right? So I have logs here from 8/17, so we can hear about how Chris's days were spent up until September 20th in jail. So let's see what kind of inmate he was, okay? So this is the inmate log. This is Friday, August 17th. So this is 4 days after they were reported missing, after he killed them. So this is the daily observations, and it says Friday, August 17th. Narrative. Inmate Watts has been respectful and polite during my interactions with him. I have seen him a few times during my walks, staring off at the floor or the wall in front of him blankly. I had asked a few times if he was doing all right or if he needed to talk, and he said no, whilst giving a thumbs up. He's all right. He's good. He was staffed today by inmate services to remain on, and it's blanked out. I would say it's suicide watch. Throughout the day, while doing my walks, I noticed Watts still staring blankly in front of him again. I opened his cell door and I let him know what I've seen over the past few hours and told him it was concerning. He said he was fine. He's just thinking about things and he's trying to exercise to keep busy. I told him that's a good idea and reassured him that if he needed to talk to someone, he needs to let the deputy know so we can make sure he's taken care of. He said he appreciated it. I asked him if he was feeling suicidal and he told me he was not. I then asked him if he would let us know if he was, to which he told us, "I will definitely let someone know." Okay, so then on 8/18, we've got a few entries in here. Subject here is, the subject on that one was daily observation. The subject on this one is quiet. Okay, it's written by another CO, I guess. This is Anderson. That other one was Jacuk, J-A-C-U-K. And this says August 18th, Unit 7, that's where he is. Narrative, Watts keeps to himself. He is very calm and polite all day long. He will respond when staff asks him questions in a respectful manner. Then also on the 18th, listed as observation, says, inmate Watts Christopher laid on his bunk and slept during the shift. He wakes up and acknowledges deputies and medical staff when they address him. He has not been actively attempting to harm himself during the shift. Okay? Now we're on August 19th, and the subject here is quiet behavior. Narrative, inmate Watts either sat quietly or slept in his bunk all day. The only time he talked was to say thank you for lunch and to ask for toilet paper. It says inmate refused medication. Now, I don't know what they mean by medication that he refused. Is it he's not supposed to be taking any medication? That's what they said. So were they offering him, you know, a tranquilizer? Were they offering him anxiety medication? What was going on there? What kind of medication did he refuse? Okay, and then we have an observation on the 19th. Again, on the 19th of August. Inmate Watts refused his hour out tonight when offered by myself and Deputy Penny. He rested during most of the shift, only speaking when he needed toilet paper. He was respectful and did not engage in any self-harming behavior. Now, is he needing toilet paper again because this is the same day? Or are they just putting that in there again? Because if he's going through toilet paper like that, it might be an issue. Okay, and this is on the 21st, so there's nothing for the 20th of August. It says, during routine walkthroughs early in the shift, I observed inmate Watts Christopher sitting up on his bunk and reading a book. The last 2 days he has been laying down, staring in front of him, or sleeping. I approached him and I shared my observation, and he informed me that he was just given this book today. Having a book to read seems to have significantly improved inmate Watts's demeanor. Okay, now we go to the 22nd. So there was only one entry on the 20th. There was no entry on the 20th and only one on the 21st. And now we have the 20th. Excuse me, now we have the 22nd. So it says, let's see here. Inmate Watts Christopher had a professional visitor tonight. Professional visitor. I asked him after he was finished how his court from earlier today had gone. He said it had not gone well, but appeared to be content with it. He asked me how my day was, and I responded by telling him I'm here and I'm alive, so I can't complain. He proceeded to ask me how many days I work in a typical week here at the jail. I told him the work week is typically 5 days, and he said, okay, as he entered his cell. I told him to have a good night, and he began to read a book in his cell and later went to sleep. It's nice that he's, asking them about their day and everything because he's such a polite guy. And his court didn't go well, but he's content with it. Someone entered their notes late for August 21st because it's August 22nd is the date on here, but in the notes it says 8/21. So this is still about 8/21 here, even though it's on 8/22. So this is narrative, 8/21. Inmate returned from court. He was given an opportunity to prepare with a shower early in the morning. He read his book after the shower when he returned to his cell. He doesn't hang around or make conversation with others. He was quiet and polite when he returned from court. He reads his book, standing at times. Watts Christopher, number 360519, inmate, was seen this morning by Brandon. He was asked to call his public defender twice this morning, which he did. Number 1487, female voice. The first call lasted over 10 minutes. There was an inmate on blank, and it's blanked out there, laying on the floor next to the telephone. He was given his hour out and took a shower. After showering, he returned to his cell. He finished one book and asked if he could get another, and it was accommodated. After dinner, he dozed off, but was seen reading shortly after. He is very quiet and polite. He was asked to place a phone call to his attorney at 5:25 and was given the opportunity to make the call. It lasted less than 2 minutes, and he returned to his cell without issue. Okay, and then we have the 23rd. Here it says, inmate Watts Christopher has been quiet throughout the shift. He asked for toilet paper once at approximately 1900 hours, which I promptly provided him with. He continues to read in his bunk and refrains from any self-harming behavior. So they either have like the tiniest rolls of toilet paper going out, or Chris might have an issue. I don't know. He's going through a heck of a lot of toilet paper, isn't he? Inmate, this is on, let's see, 24th now. Okay, this is for just one little sentence. I guess who was ever on there is, inmate spent most of the night reading in his bunk. Inmate appeared to sleep through the night. Okay, then they're back to the 23rd. It's crazy. I guess people are putting their stuff in wrong. Requested that he have his hour out of the unit. He stated that he would only need to take a shower and then return to his cell. I informed him that his hour out would be upstairs. Inmate Watts tried to manipulate the situation by stating that he would be real quick and he wouldn't talk with anyone. I repeated that his hour would be done upstairs. He accepted that and went back to his book. So on the 23rd, let's see. So less than a week he was trying to manipulate the situation to get and take a shower. Okay. And that was from a deputy staff named Tippett, who wrote that one down. Now, let's see. 8:25. Inmate refused his hour out today and decided to sleep. I have no issues with this inmate, and he has complied with every directive given. 8:26. Today at approximately 10:30, inmate Watts had a professional visitor. All the windows were closed. Plastic bags were used to block the visibility and to provide privacy to inmate Watts. Okay. 8:26. Inmate Watts had a visit with his public defender today with no issues from him or the other inmates in S-Pod. Okay. Now we have August 28th, early swing shift. Watts Christopher was quiet when I took over this afternoon. He spent most of the day reading. He did eat dinner. The housing unit as a whole was quite rambunctious today around dinner time, but Watts did not engage with any of this, and he just kept to himself. He had a VPRO that started late this evening. I summoned the deputies to escort him to the VPRO room in accordance with the security memo, and we shut all of the sliders on the cell doors during the VPRO room to maintain compliance with the security memo. The housing unit was very upset about having their sliders shut indefinitely because of this VPRO room. And the unit made their collective feelings clear by booing Watts when he came out of his room. But we know Chris, he's not going to escalate anything, right? He just takes it all. Like he said, he just takes it all and just keeps it down. All right, so now we have August 29th. Inmate Watts has been observed quietly lying in bed and reading his Bible. He was very polite and respectful in his interactions with the deputy and seems to be in generally good spirits. After lights out, he went to sleep, and he has caused no issues. August 29th again. The daily log. Watts Christopher was on a VPRO when I got into the unit. All sliders were closed for the duration of the VPRO, in accordance with his security memo. When his VPRO was done, around 1640, he was moved back by 2 SOG members, in accordance with his security memo. The unit was much less vocal today when he was being moved. Watts spent the remainder of his evening reading in his room quietly after he ate dinner. On the 30th of August, inmate Watts was observed reading in his cell again until lights out, and then he went to sleep. He had very little interaction with the deputy, and he did not request anything throughout the night. Inmate Watts, this is on the 30th as well, was approved per Sergeant Muller to have a book from Inmate Services. This was given to him by Deputy Petzold. Inmate Watts is not on discipline and therefore allowed a book. This is also the 30th. Now, it says, the subject here, inmate found to have book, states that it came from his counselor. Book is taken. Inmate Watts was pretty quiet throughout the day. He ate dinner and did not speak to anyone in the unit. It was found today by Deputy Bertato that he had a book in his cell in addition to his Bible. When Bertato asked about this, Watts explained that his counselor had given it to him. Bertato explained to Watts that at this time, inmates in the housing unit are not allowed to have books aside from their primary religious text. Watts handed over the book to Deputy Bertato without issue. Services book at 3:28 p.m. on the 30th, he was allowed the book. And then on the 30th, the early swing shift, it was taken from him. So what's going on with that? And he had a book before that, they were saying. Okay. So now we have 8:31. Sitting in cell reading is the subject. Inmate Watts has been observed sitting in his cell, either reading or seemingly doing nothing, to where he would be looking at the door as I approached him. He would smile and nod his head at me. He asked for his toilet to be flushed, which I did, and then went to sleep after lights out. He asked for his toilet to be flushed. What does that mean? He clogged it up? I mean, I'm sure he could flush his toilet, right? That's pretty gross if he asked her to flush his toilet, or him. But maybe it's because he's using all that toilet paper, though he hasn't been requesting a lot of toilet paper now. Okay, so he had a clogged toilet, I guess. Lovely. Okay, this is also the 31st, early swing shift. Inmate Watts Christopher Lee spent his day quietly reading. He did eat dinner. Okay. The next one is September 1st. Subject is sleeping, no issues. Inmate Watts has been observed reading in bed, no issues to report. Okay, also September 1st. Inmate demeanor is the subject. Narrative, today I interacted with inmate Watts briefly. Specifically, I observed inmate Watts working out. When asked how he was feeling, he said, okay. Also throughout the day, I observed him reading his book. He remained polite and respectful today. He read and exercised. On 9/1 again, observation of behavior, inmate Watts spent a majority of his evening reading a book. He has been respectful to deputies and has not caused any negative issues. As indicated earlier, he elected to not take his hour this evening. I don't see it mentioned earlier, but okay. On 9/2, September 2nd, Watts read a book for a majority of the evening. He has been respectful and communicates when communicated to. He has not caused any negative issues this evening. 9/3, observation of behavior is the subject. Inmate Watts completed his visit with his attorney at approximately 6:30 p.m. SOG moved him from the VPRO room to his cell with no issues. He was respectful this evening and he did not cause any issues in the pod. September 4th. Okay, Subject is Watts. Inmate Watts asked what I did before this and if I liked working there and how long I've been here. That's actually in the law. So yeah. So he's, you know, hey, do you like working here? What'd you do before this? Okay. Okay, another observation of behavior on the 4th. Inmate Watts sat on his cot most of the evening and read his book. He is respectful and hasn't caused any negative issues. September 5th, 9:34 a.m. Today, Inmate Watts was given a different book from Inmate Service Brandon. I switched out his old book with the new book, Body of Evidence. The book was inspected prior to giving it to him. So they don't even say how he got the books back. Logs aren't too complete. So now I guess he's allowed to have the book and he's reading Body of Evidence. On the 7th, the subject is reading Bible, comma, no issues. Narrative. Inmate Watts was observed reading his Bible and sleeping. He caused no issues. He continues to have little to no interaction with deputies, but he seems calm and receptive when spoken to. 9/8. Reading no issues is the subject. Narrative. Inmate Watts was quiet and compliant this evening reading in his room. He slept and caused no issues. This is also September 8th. Inmate Watts, Christopher, has mostly been reading his Bible and laying on his mat all day. No issues from this inmate. September 9th. Inmate Watts was observed reading in his cell. No issues to report. September 12th. So we jump to the 12th from the 9th. Inmate Watts had a professional visit today at approximately 4:45 p.m. All of the window chutes of Unit S were closed while Inmate Watts was removed from his cell and during his professional visit. Then 9/13, the subject is clean cell. Narrative, I, Deputy Archer, cleaned Inmate Watts' cell while he was on his hour out today. 9/13. Inmate was quiet and respectful tonight. Inmate did not even react when several other inmates in the unit were yelling at him. Well, we know he doesn't react when people yell at him because that's what he said, right? Remember? He just gets it down to a calm level. He just takes it. Remember, he just takes it. So he's good at that. September 15th. Inmate has remained very quiet and polite. Inmate rarely asks for anything and is respectful when he does. I guess they stopped recording when he asks for toilet paper. 9:15, he has been quiet. He mainly reads or sleeps during the shift. He follows directives and is polite and respectful. I have had no issues. September 16th. Inmate took his hour out today. I have had no issues from him. He has mainly been sleeping or reading his Bible. 9/18. On 9/18 at approximately 12:25, inmates Robert was talking to inmate Watts through the vents. I was not able to hear what they were talking about. Inmate returned to his window shortly after this. 9:20. Inmate started his hour out at 8 o'clock and had his access to the phones, showers, newspapers, and exercise room. Oh, so he gets access to the exercise room now. Phone, newspapers, so yeah. Takes us to the end of his prison logs. We're talking about the women that are writing to Chris, right, and what, what's going on with them. Well, here's a couple of letters written by the same woman. Now, at first I said this has to be a really young woman because it's written on loose leaf paper. And just the kind of writing it is, and her spelling, grammar, word usage, that's what it seemed like, okay? But then I found out she's working and has a daughter, which almost had a really bad accident, which really scared me when I read it to you, because I thought it was going to be something else. I thought it was almost even a joke at that point. I'll explain to you why. A prank, I should say. But let me read this to you so you can get an idea. She wrote 2 letters to him that they're in there, one on 9/7 and one on 9/9. So it says, "Hi, Chris," and there's a little smiley face. Actually, she wrote to him before this. "Hi, Chris," smiley face. "This is Candace again." And then she's got an exclamation point with a little heart under it. "So I called Well County Jail and talk, no ED, to someone, and he said that you would need to add me. But if you don't, then that's fine." She forgot to put the word want in there. Okay. Don't want to, then that's fine. No period. There's after fine. "I'll just continue to write letters, LOL." And then she's got a little face that's a half smiley, half squiggly mouth. That has a wishy-washy mouth. "Anyway, I hope that you're doing okay." She's got this funky looking question mark. "Believe it or not, I think bout, no A, I think bout you often. Well, actually, a shit ton. LOL. No period. My cousin shared a news story about you on FB, Facebook, and honest to God, I got so upset. Bout, no A, the stupid ass comments that assholes were saying, no G, bout, no A, you, OMG, no period. I was legit mad as hell, exclamation point. I absolutely do not believe what everyone is saying bout, no A. You, in my eyes, they're all the wrong form of there. All wrong. Smiley face, exclamation point. Like I've said in my previous letters that I really do care about you. Don't ask me why. No period, no question mark. Maybe I'm nuts/crazy, LOL, exclamation point. Chris, I will stop writing you if you want me to. It's just that, no exclamation point, just that I want you to tell me that. I was so hoping that I would have heard from you by now, but nope. Little arrow to turn the letter over. And that's okay. In parentheses. Well, not really, LOL, exclamation point. Just want you to know that I believe in you 100%. No period. I want to get to know you so bad. So with 3 O's. It's not even funny, period. I know that we do not know one another, but in my heart, and she actually drew a heart, I truly want that to change. Please, please, please add me to your visitation life, and trust me, you will not be sorry, exclamation point. Add me to your visitation life. Now, does she mean visitation life? Because that's, or does she mean list? And she just put life. I don't know. And trust me, you will not be sorry, exclamation point. Can we be pen pals? And she put 2 question marks there. I'm going to your next hearing in November. She put 2 exclamation points there. I will be there for support. Literally, you're on my mind almost every single day since you were on the news. And it was like, OMFG. I have to meet this man. And I was determined to do that. And then 4 little dots. Trust me when I say this. She put a colon. I do not, underline twice, care what happened or whatever, but I really do care about you, smiley face. So she doesn't care that a woman and her 2 daughters and unborn son were murdered, but she really cares about Chris. Don't know why, 'cause C-U-Z. If I didn't, I wouldn't be constantly writing you, hoping that you have been reading them. I mean, I guess one could dream, LOL, right? Two question marks. You can call me whenever. I will accept the charges, except with an E. In a heartbeat, heart is drawn. I'm seriously, not even joking, exclamation point. You are very, very special too. And then she wrote it again, very, very special too. And then over here, to me, I guess she forgot, she wrote two on the other side. You have absolutely, and she forgot a word here, you have absolutely how much grief? Okay, she forgot two words there, no idea. She forgot to put that there. You have absolutely how much grief? Heartache, grief / heart drawn ache I've been getting every day because VECUZ. I'm literally trying almost every day to make contact with you, and so far I've had 0% no luck. I'm a little embarrassed. Embarrassed is spelled completely wrong. But that's okay. As long as I'm writing you, all my embarrassment, which she spelled right, embarrassment, literally goes out the window, smiley face. I don't care what my friends / family think. I really, really don't. Oh well, it is what it is. I guess, okay, well, IMMA, let you go, ellipsis. I'm hoping that you write me back. Really, I do. I really do, exclamation point. Take care of yourself and I will continue to write. Send ya, YA, letters for as long as it takes, exclamation point. And then she has hearts. It says always Candace, and her envelope had hearts all over it. 2 days later, he sent him another letter. Hey. She's got hey up here and she's got hey again here. This is Discovery page 1515 in case anybody wants to read along. Hey. Hey, what's up? Question mark. Hope all is well, smiley face. It's Sunday, September 10th, or the 9th, LOL. I've lost track of the days. I've lost track of the days here lately. She sounds like she's in jail, exclamation point. Anyway, I'm just getting ready for work, 3 to 9 p.m. I'm kind of a manager / shift lead at Subway. She's kind of a manager / shift lead. LOL. My job is okay, I guess. LOL. It's a job, right? Question mark. I hope you've been getting all of my letters. I guess one can only hope, right? Question mark. I'm gonna, GONNA, guess that by your silence that you didn't want to talk to me. Unhappy face. But that's okay, because I swear I won't stop till you write me back. She sounds like a stalker. At least, and she's got the @ symbol, one time, LMAO, exclamation point. All I want is to be your friend. And honest to God, well, that's a phrase he knows well. I can legit say this till I'm blue. No exclamation point on the I'm blue, on the I'm. Blue in the face, for real. That's a pun, right? Blue in the face. This is why I thought, I was like, is this girl like passive aggressively sending him little things? Blue in the face, for real. When I send my next letter, I'll also send a pic of me, so that way you can see who's been contacting you this entire time. I would 3 drawn hearts to come visit you sometime, if it's okay with you, with W/U, exclamation point. Like I had said before that, I'll be at symbol, your next hearing on November 19th at 10:30 at sign in District 16, right? Question mark. Just had a little mishap. This is what scared me. Just had a little mishap with W/my daughter, LOL. She got super mad at symbol, me, cause CUZ. I wouldn't let her use / play W/my phone to play Roblox/Fortnite, and she started to throw a huge ass fit. Trowing, no H, which I mean, I'm sure she meant throwing, but there's no H, so it's trowing her normal daily temper tantrum and starting kicking my table that I had my wax warmer on it, and of course that fell off the table and directly onto my phone. Grrr! Exclamation point. Was hella mad, LMAO, but it's all good. She can use her iPad from here on out. Okay, well, I'ma let you go for now. Write another letter here in a few days. And she puts a more involved smiley face. Love always, Candace. I thought she was going to punk him or something because of the blue in the face comment. And then when she mentioned her daughter, I'm like, oh, don't let this be where she's going to say, you know, I could have strangled her or something. And I said, well then, but if the letter had been, I think I would have expected that more. If the letter was more well written, someone was trying to, you know, punk him or something with a letter like that. But I thought that when I first saw that, I'm like, what in the heck is this girl doing? But yeah. So these are, you know, these are the kind of women, and then there's other letters in there from what sounds like some type of religious organizations, you know, telling him that he can be saved and all of that, and sending pamphlets and things. But this one just stuck out to me. I thought I'd just read that to you guys. Probably getting more sophisticated letters now that he's up at the federal prison and out of the county jail. But yeah, so, you know, he's got that to read. If they're giving him the letters, I don't see mention of giving him the letters in there. I don't know whether they held them or they gave them to him. Who knows? And that's about his life in there. Now, somebody said something, oh yeah, when somebody was saying that, left me that comment and said something that, oh, like they knew that she sent him home for that ultrasound. Right? Remember when she said good point, let's catch a couple of you. She wasn't even supposed to know she was pregnant, remember? Because she didn't find out she was pregnant until she heard the news reports on the 13th or the 14th, right? Back then, the 13th. She didn't know. So it's pretty nice that she sent him home to go to the ultrasound on the 8th because she didn't even know Shanann was pregnant. It's pretty good of NK. And what else was there anything else that we were discussing last night? The Darley root tier. I talked about that with you guys. I've been watching some stuff that there's that, what's it called? I think it's Final Justice, or is that what it is? Final Justice? I think I put a link to it in the live chat in last night's live chat. But it's a good series, and I don't know if you have ABC, you can get it online, and then episodes 1 through 4 are on Darley, but then there's, I don't know, at least 5, 6 maybe other episodes that are about other people. So you might want to take a look at that. I don't know how many of you are watching the Ted Bundy tapes. I also think somebody said there was something on Darley on Netflix too, and I'm going to have to check that out. I'll have to check that out because I know someone told me there was something there. And if you guys have Showtime, Escape from Dannemora was very good. That's an escape from an upstate prison up here, and what's her name won the Golden Globe. She really transformed herself for that, Rosanna Arquette. What else? And there was something else. I told you about Dirty John, both the series on TNT and the podcast. And then there's Black Dahlia that premiered on Monday. Well, I haven't seen it yet, on TNT. Let's see. Any of you are watching those, or what you think? And then, of course, there's that crazy kidnapping one that's on Netflix now, which is Abducted in Plain Sight. Really, really crazy stuff there. That you're just like, is this for real? Wait, this is not for real. Right? This is a joke. Netflix is a joke. I had to Google the guy to see if it was real, because I'm like, no, this is not for real. And then just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, it got weirder and weirder and weirder. And you're like, what in the heck are those parents thinking? It can't be real. It cannot be real. Yeah, I really thought that wasn't real. I'm still, you know, thinking like, if I didn't read, you know, like, oh, come on, that was a totally bogus, sounds like something like Radar Online would be on there without checking any sources, putting this story up there, and just, it's just crazy. I haven't been able to find anything on the wrongful death suit, not even saying the default judgment. So I don't know if that's been updated yet. Today is, would have been Nico's birth date, so that's a sad milestone for the family and friends of Shanann. And for the 30,000th time, and I'll address it here, Nico was not named after NK. He was not named by Christopher. He was named by Shanann. She liked the name. It was an Italian name. You could hear it right from her mother's mouth in the 2020 interview that she did for ABC. Okay, the Lee was for Christopher's middle name. So yeah, but she was not named for NK. Not at all. And she was not named without Shanann knowing, because Shanann knew the name. Okay, she had picked that. So just to clear that one up, because that's one I hear all the time. Oh, let me clear up that NK is not in the witness protection program either. Let me clear that one up, because that one keeps coming out, coming out. No, she's not in the witness protection program. Okay, and that's just a rumor. Another rumor is that the girl's hair was cut. That one, and that they found, you know, thousands and thousands of short blonde hairs in the back of his truck, and he had to cut the hair because it would clog something in the oil tanks. That was another rumor. The autopsy clearly shows the girls had their hair, so that's a rumor. And what other rumors can we dispel right now? Her father, NK's father's not a lawyer. He was not a lawyer at any time. He's not a retired lawyer. I heard that one lately. Well, maybe he's a retired lawyer. He's not a lawyer. He had that, I told you what company he has in another video. It's some kind of instrumentation company. And before that, he had another company, and he was a journeyman electrician and then a master electrician. He's not a lawyer, not even a paralegal. Okay? So, yeah, we can hopefully put that one to bed, because that's still floating around. And what other ones are floating around here? What other rumors can we dispel tonight? I think we got through the car bonuses. Hopefully that got through last night, how that works. And yeah, I'm trying to think. I think that let me see. Of course, when I stop recording, then I'm always going to remember the what I wanted to say. But anyway, that's it. So there's Christopher's behavior behind bars in his earliest days, from incarceration to the, what did it take us to, the middle of September, a little more. And then, I'm trying to think, we saw a sample of a letter that someone's writing to him. I wonder if Candace is still writing to him. I wonder if she really did show up at his hearing. And she'd probably be pretty easy to spot, right? The testimony that, you know, that the guy that saw Troy McCoy there, he's parked over by where Shanann was buried. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. A lot of you were saying, you know, how could this Jeremy guy speak so badly of Shanann? Doesn't he feel bad now? How could he, you know, they be so, why did he say that? I thought of another thing, and some of you mentioned it as well, because great minds think alike, but he was in sales, and so was Shanann at that Longmont Ford. And we know, because even Ronnie said, that Shanann had a real knack for sales, and if she was the top salesperson there, then it's very possible that, you know, Jeremy's like, oh, damn, missed it again, you know? Maybe I'll get it for January. Dang! She outsold me again. So maybe he had just a resentment in there because he could never make it to top salesperson, right? Salesperson of the month, or right, highest in gross sales, right? Maybe he was always missing out and thought, daggone it, what is with her? So maybe it came out of there that he just harbored that because he never made salesperson of the month, or she always beat him out, and you know, who knows where that's coming from, but it's very possible because they both worked in sales. And I imagine Shanann probably did better at it, you know. I don't know. I just think she did. Even I know Ronnie had said she had a knack for it, and then I think somewhere along the lines he did give her that, you know, she was, through his mumbling, what I think I heard was that she was top salesperson there all the time. So yeah, that's probably what it was. Probably there's harboring, you know, just a little bit of that resentment there. And, you know, now that he found out what happened, and, you know, who knows how he feels now. Like I said, I'm surprised that I didn't get a comment that, you know, I was a little hard on him or something. I was just reading their words. You know, people act like I make this stuff up. I'm just reading out of the discovery, you know. So what are you saying? That I should change your words? You know, if you'd like me to change your words to make it seem a little nicer? When you said that she made up her illnesses, you know, or that she would just call out random illnesses on the TV you thought she was doing that she didn't really have. Should I twist that around to make it look better? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to read what's in the report. I'm going to read what you said. So I'm going to read what's in the transcripts. I'm going to read that. I'm not going to change it around. So yeah, I mean, that it is what it is, and anybody can read it. But it's like when I was reading this stuff on, you know, I don't know, whatever. Sometimes people say, oh, you could have said that. No, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. It's going to be there. That's how it is. What can I do, right? All right. So anyway, guys, I am going to try to go get this uploaded so I can get this on tonight so we can chat in the live chat. And that is about it. Oh, don't feel obligated that you got to watch it. I have to put the Degusta February box unboxing on, and you're not obligated to go watch that, but I wanted to let you know, for those of you, somebody said that she found out they can't ship them to Canada. So sorry if you're in Canada, you can't order one, but don't feel obligated to order one at all unless you want one. You know, like I said, it's not me selling them. I have a link in there. It's an affiliate link, but you know, if you want to order one, that's great. If you don't want to order one, don't feel obligated. It's nothing about that. I put them up because I have a different partnership with the company. So whether or not, and I don't even know if those affiliate links, if they're even working for that, because like I said, I have a different partnership with them. And I will tell you though that in this box, and I was so mad because I think Knitting ordered a box already, there was a little card in there for 30% off. So that would make it, like I said, they said that this is what they told me when I said, what happened to the $12.99 price on the box, guys? And they said, oh, well, there was a little bit of a glitch for January and February, and they can't change it now. But so I said, well, what does that mean? March is going to be back to, well, say what I think they're doing, just me. They're trying to see, let's put the box at $19.99 for 2 months. Let's see what the sales are, right? And we'll see what happens. But maybe, just maybe, we weren't the only ones that complained, like, what the heck is this? Because they didn't even tell us, you know. So here I am in the video, like, get this box for $12.99, and you guys are going to the link, and you're like, it's not $12.99 anymore. So first of all, they should have told their affiliates, and their people that work with them, like myself, that do the box openings for them, advertising these boxes for them, that they changed the price. That would be nice. But I know that the business changed hands, or there's something that went on with this. And then when I emailed about it, you know, she was like, oh, there's a glitch. I'm like, so what does that mean? It's going to be, what's happening for March? But I think they're just going to see how this went. Now, maybe their sales for the January were not as good as expected. And then we know anybody in business, January is a slow month because people from the holidays are like maxed out. And so it's just naturally one of the slowest months of the year, if not the slowest month of the year business-wise for many businesses. So you have that, but maybe that's why they threw that, because she didn't even tell me. See, this is what I mean. She didn't even tell me there is going to be a 30% off coupon in that box for anybody that signs up new. Didn't even tell me that. And so I'm just saying, maybe they got a lot of complaints about why the heck did you change the price? You didn't even give us a heads up on it. You made us look like a bunch of jerks. But yeah, there's that 30% off now. So I don't know. I'm sorry about those that didn't get it, and you know, if maybe even knitting, if there's an email or something, you could tell them. They'll probably do something for you. Maybe give you that 30% off if you did order that. Anyway, guys, I will talk to you soon, and yeah, there'll probably be a couple of other book videos and things coming in, because I have some Grinch. I think we have the Grinch movie that we're giving away on the blog and stuff. So you may see that stuff come up. Don't worry about it. Like I said, if you're true crime only, stay with the true crime playlist. You know, if you want to look at the other stuff, look at the other stuff, but don't ever feel obligated. All right, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye now.